right as the spider died. So right at the end of combat.
Yeah. The quick brown fox jumps over the log.
Screw the fox.
That's the lazy little dog.
Okay, but do I sound good now? Do I sound like this would work for the session?
Yes.
Sure. I'm having some conniptions. Having some conniptions.
He just rolled a bunch of dice.
Everyone.
69.
Well done. That's well done. Yes.
Two can play at that game. Guys, we're gonna crash this server. Stop it.
Keep going.
There are too many.
Roll.
All right, it's time. Stop rolling.
Wait, what was my 1d? I got a 6.
Okay, about to go live. Get ready. Stop! Alright. Where we last left off.
Oh, Jesus.
The party had ventured into this strange underground structure that 5 of you minus Bentnose, 4 of you minus Bentnose the Goblin had fallen into. So you, traipsing around in here in this very old-looking structure, were able to kind of piece together that this isn't... It's pretty obvious that this isn't a young structure. This has been here for a while. And you get the sense that there was clearly something occurring here, because the first room you all found, after part of the wall and ceiling had collapsed on several of you, venturing down the safe hallway, what you were able to identify was the fact that there was this room where spiders were being cultivated for the purpose of evidently some kind of drug manufacture, a hallucinogenic drug that is apparently seeing an uptick in business around this area. You're not really sure what else is going on in this structure beyond that, as continuing in the background, through the walls and in the surroundings, you are continuing to hear strange noises. Some of it was the chittering and clicking of spiders, but others of it is the occasional weird echoing or whooping sound, and then ultimately, every few minutes, the structure around you shakes and thuds. The stone and dust kicks loose from the ceiling above you, and you hear low rumblings every so often. As you further explored this locale, and as Alonzus gathered enough supplies around to make an alchemy kit, which I will be getting to him shortly, a set of alchemist's tools, you were then beset upon by a grand total of 3 of the spiders, specifically dream spiders, that were used in the process of making the drugs that you found here. A lot of that information came from Stony Toprano, who seems to have a relatively a certain degree of insider information on that situation in Elderberry and surrounding cities. And you wager this whole situation probably is not what Constable Baramy had in mind when he sent you down to the cave itself. He probably had no idea that this was here, and you're able to piece together perhaps this is where those initial rats may have emerged from, given you've now sighted 2 different groupings of strange creatures originating from this place. Okay, so let's see here. Real quick before we continue, Alonzus, I'm trying to give you this alchemist's tools. There we go. Okay.
I see it. Yep.
Yep, got it. You got your alchemist tools added to your inventory. So that is where we left off. Now, before we continue with the adventure, it's time for everyone's favorite segment of the show. Wait a minute. Was that looping for? Was that double for anybody else, or is that just me? Oh, I know why. Okay, got it. I forgot to mute the tab where camera stand is located. Oops. Anyway, it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show. It's the hero quiz.
Yay!
In Pathfinder 2nd Edition, everybody starts with a single hero point. Make sure you all have one. And at the beginning of our sessions, there will be a chance for one of you to earn another hero point. Now, last session, I had everyone roll intelligence checks, which I decided wasn't the best way to determine what order in which we're going to give people the chance to answer this question. So I have a better solution. It's just going to be random every week. But every time someone does go, they get checked off the list until everyone has gone. And so we'll give everyone a chance to answer these questions in order. Now, mind you, that's just the chance to answer it first. If you get it wrong, you get it wrong, and the next person in the list will go. So, first up on the list for today, we have Bent-Nose the Goblin. Bent-Nose the Goblin is not here. Okay. Well, that's awkward. Oh, man. Can you imagine what it would feel like in the live studio audience right now if the camera panned over and Bent-Nose the Goblin just wasn't at his podium, making the host look like an absolute jackass and completely unprepared.
Rude.
Incredible.
I can imagine,
Rude.
yes.
Very rude. Okay. Well,
But I love the music. It's a top tier choice.
Well, thanks, man. So, because of that, it looks like next up on the list, we have our resident mushroom friend. So, resident mushroom man, your question. Pathfinder 2e has a plethora of conditions such as prone, flat-footed, and dazed. Without checking any reference material or session notes, what is the name of the condition that the dream spider's bite inflicted upon Stony Toprano?
Oh, pass.
Alonzus.
He is woozy.
And I forgot to upload my noise, but incorrect. That only leaves someone who I know knows the answer, because he said it twice leading up to this session. Ergo, take it on home. What's the condition?
Poor Stony. He's so stupefied right now.
Correct. Take your extra hero point.
Delta. Is Delta back from the beyond?
Doubt. I doubt.
Let's come back
So do we start every session with a hero point?
Yes.
with one.
Oh
yes.
no, bro.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
But they don't stack up. So
Yeah.
if you don't use your hero point by the end of the session, then it goes away.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So.
He's trying. Poor Delta's trying.
Boy, Delta's trying. All right. Let's see here. So, that brings the hero's quiz to a close. What is that noise?
Delta, is that you?
Is that you, Delta?
Communicating through.
Delta, 2 taps for yes, 1
Nope,
for no.
nope, there it goes. Ugh. Oh man,
No.
incredible. I think it's I think it's really incredible in the first place that we even intermittently get to see Delta, his camera feed, his audio. He does live in a developing nation known as Arkansas. They only recently got running water, I think I read in the news somewhere.
Yeah, right.
A lot of great medical initiatives, and I think Daddy Musk is running internet through Arkansas as we speak, helping them out. Out of the kindness of his heart, he said. I think it was a charity initiative. Or maybe he didn't, or maybe not. Maybe that
What a
was.
kind soul.
Maybe I'm. He did put up a lot of money for that Twitter acquisition. Anyway, all right. Ooh, so
I got something to add to that, just for flair.
yes, sir.
Apparently, Elon Musk actually blocked Starlink satellite services to Arkansas because a local gun enthusiast shot down 2 satellites. Oh wait, no, ate the onion. Ha! It was a Reddit post of an onion post, so it just said Reddit, and then I saw
How
shot
did that
down
onion
satellite,
taste?
and I was like, wait.
Did you eat it raw? Did you eat it so raw?
Low orbit. Oof.
Guy's got a howitzer in his backyard.
Okay. So, moving into the session then. See, this is why we build in these contingencies. If Bentnose ain't here, I'm Bentnose now, and I will make decisions accordingly. So, the game is unpaused. Now, for the most part, we're actually going to be shifting things here shortly. Stony Toprano ain't
My
looking...
innate mortality.
Yeah, Stony Toprano ain't looking so great. And he is very stupefied right now. Stony, you've heard...
Only level 1.
You've heard of the effects of Shiver, and you have a feeling you're on a pretty intense trip right now. It probably shouldn't be... Probably doesn't feel this way, or you don't think people would be doing this recreationally. So, consequently, it is kind of a bad time for you right now. You're not too physically impaired in this moment, but you are definitely not... you definitely don't have a good grip on your mental faculties, and any task that you attempt that relies heavily on those faculties is not going to go great for you.
-1. -1.
Indeed. I'm going to fix your camera on the overlay so everyone can see how stupefied you are. There we go.
Ah.
Incredible.
All right, now I'm gonna move the other side.
Please don't. You guys are killing me here. Oh, I see Delta slowly coming back onto the stream.
He's trying.
Oh, he's trying his... Nope, there he goes. All right. Oh. Oh. Oh.
He will let us know when he is back.
When he comes back.
He can always type in chat if he needs to.
Okay. All right, that looks pretty serviceable. All right. Alrighty. So, with that, back into the session. You had all started hearing the ominous sounds of more chittering coming from around you. You all are starting to piece together it might be time to go. You've gathered all that seems to be available here, and without any thieves' tools, you're unable to unlock the door
Now hold up.
nearby.
I have thieves' tools.
Oh, do
I
you
didn't-
now?
We didn't get to a point where I could make that known. because we
Okay.
had gotten attacked.
Okay. Sure. All right. It is pointed out to you as you guys are beginning again. You're starting to hear the sounds of more of these spiders, though. So if you're going to do this, you're going to do it rather quickly.
So, just to preface that, so Spider dies. You know, I'm quickly because I landed the last blow. So once I grab my dagger, I'm scanning the ceiling with my lantern to make sure there aren't any spiders in this room with us right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I convey my my humble personal opinions to the rest of the party that guys, that was I got bit. Stony got bit the heart. I think I don't think we're gonna get through those doors without any sort of special tools. So I think we just need to get the heck out of here.
Well, that looked like you just need a damn lockpick, you dumb face. I mean, I have one right here in my pocket.
What?
No, I think I agree. You gotta chase the rabbit down the hole, as they
Huh?
say.
Tripping balls over there.
Sturdy Toprano will move towards the door. I think we can do it quick.
Okay. We will see
Alright.
how this goes.
No.
I'm gonna fiddle with this door.
All right. So you are going to attempt. Let me just pull up my. I got my actions listed here. So this falls under thievery. Oh, but here's here's the question. And again, if we need to retcon this, Alonsis, that's fine. Are you trained in thievery?
I am.
Wonderful. It is because this is a thievery trained action. You are going to attempt to pick a lock, and here are the rules
Alonsis.
for that.
Oh.
So, yeah, you're going to simply put, you are going to be attempting a thievery roll that will require 2 actions. The lock, and it is. The DC is just determined by the complexity of the lock. Not too bad in this case. On a success, you open the lock, or you achieve 1 success toward opening it. On a crit success, you unlock it or achieve 2 successes toward opening it. On a critical failure, you break your tools, and fixing them requires using crafting to repair them, or else swapping in replacement picks.
All right. Let's hope
Okay.
I don't break them.
All right, let her rip.
Fails.
You are unable to pick this lock. You are so close. You can feel it, but you don't quite get there. You feel that if you would need a bit more time to even reattempt this, and unfortunately you can hear the noises of these spiders bearing down on you.
Ergo, I'm pretty sure this is just a wall, and you're wrong.
We can
sound
hear
like a
you,
robot.
Delta. We can hear you. Intermittently, that is.
Alonsis, listen, I know we got a history together. I know you like to do your own thing, but if you haven't noticed right now, I think we really need to be vamoosing out of here. This is not. I don't like these sounds that are all around here.
I agree. This messing with this wall that looks like a door is a waste of time. Let's go.
Thank you. And with
Alright,
that-
let's chase another rabbit down another hole.
No.
Okay. All right.
Where are you going? Okay, you're going this way. Yeah. So, upon receiving Alonsis' approval,
Yes, sir.
I bolt for the initial passageway.
I mean, aren't we just gonna? Well, I
There we
can't
go.
talk. Buzz.
What's the mood of the buzzing right now?
Yeah, you can convey like that's the whole point of your nature is they're not going to be able to understand you any like a finer like logical argument, but they can get the gist of what you feel through the resonant buzzing.
I'm not actually sure how I feel right now. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Concerned and alert.
Oh, well
Yeah.
hold on, lads. You're not going through the north door.
Right. We're going back to where the landslide happened, and we're not going to be able to get out. That's what I was.
I have
Oh.
a plan.
I'm not good enough to get out of here.
I have a plan.
Okay.
A plan.
That's really cool. The DM would appreciate if you explored the north door.
Fine. You know
Stony
what? Fine.
Toprano gets a lead.
Ergo,
At
I
this
have
point-
told you what's going to happen if you try to climb up those rocks. That wasn't. That was a hint. A strong hint.
Fine. Then we'll say
Right.
that
Yeah, but
we're
we'll-
just meandering, wasting time, waiting for Stony
Can I
to
open
be
the
able to
door?
use his
Oh, look,
healers.
a door has been opened, and you find a path that spirals downward. But it is a
okay.
constructed staircase.
Can you at least tell us how long until Stony can use his tools again?
An hour.
Oh yes, yeah. He's immune for an hour.
Right. But like, how long? Like, so he used it. 10
He
minutes.
is immune to the treat wounds action for an hour.
Right.
So I can do other people.
Yeah, he can do other people if someone else hasn't been healed.
But consider this. I have a negative modifier to my medicine check, and it wasn't very high to begin with. And if I do poorly on that, I will damage you as opposed to heal you.
Can I aid him?
I'd allow that in this particular case. It wouldn't be a lot. I would allow it though.
Thank you,
It would what?
gracious Lord.
It would not be a high amount, but I would allow it.
Well, yeah. I mean, any amount counts. Just because.
Sure.
I mean, if we're going in, I mean, I'm also injured. So.
Okay, so you guys proceed down a staircase. All right.
Jeez.
Close the door.
Let me just
I've
get you
fallen
all.
off the wagon.
Whoa.
There you go.
And we'll just assume that Bent Nose is coming with us, correct?
Yes. Okay. So, you all proceed down a spiraling staircase. As you head down the stairs, you continue to hear these strange, cacophonous noises in the distance. But everything seems to have gone relatively quiet, except for one thing. I'm gonna roll some perception checks for you. Give me a second. Let me just describe what you hear as you are coming down the way.
So do I have a chance right now to flag down Stony?
Yeah, you guys have gotten to you guys, now that you've shut the door behind you and gotten down to the bottom of the staircase, you figure as you get to this hallway, there's no holes nearby. There's no gaps in the walls that you feel that creatures could crawl out of. You feel like this is a decently safe spot to be.
All right, Hey, Stony. Hey, hold up, hold up, you little
Yeah, what's it
trailblazer,
to ya?
you. While we while we wait for you, because obviously it's more important for you to heal because you're not looking so hot. But while we
I'm
wait for
sitting
you
there.
to
I'm tripping balls.
able to heal yourself, would you mind sharing some of the love to this spider bite that I got here?
I've always been a friend to the gnome people. I will help you, my little friend. You and your funny hat.
Hey, is that Delta back?
Hello, check one.
Yay!
Checkity
have I just
wuckity.
been insulted? I don't know.
Checkity do.
Check.
Check,
All right,
check,
I'm going to
checkity.
help
How
you.
about
Or-
you?
Hello?
I'm going to try to heal you.
Yeah, yes, Delta. Can you hear us? We can hear you.
Yes.
Oh,
Indeed, I hear
incredible.
I'm
Delta,
a
your party
fighter.
progressed through the door at the north end of the room, down a spiral staircase, having shut the door behind you, and you reach the bottom of the staircase into a hallway. In the corner, you can see a bit of collapsed rubble as the theme of destruction and old construction continues. But there don't appear to be any means of entry that you could be beset upon by more creatures. So, Ergo has flagged Stony down as attempting to help him deal with his gushing, bloody spider bite in his leg.
Yes, indeed.
So, that is what is currently transpiring. So, with that, before we continue with this, as you all headed down the staircase, we'll get to that roll in a second. Just checking on something real quick.
Uh-oh.
Ah,
Oh, so are
perfect.
we in a stairwell currently, or?
You are now in a hallway.
Yeah, we exited the
You are now in a
Oh,
hallway.
okay.
Ergo, you all could hear a weird, vague noise. You came down, you wouldn't have really been able to place it. But ergo, with a critical success, you can distinctly tell, no doubt, you can hear the sound of grinding. It's like it sounds like a sawing motion. You can hear this like But now what the materials is very hard to distinguish, but you can hear it like kind of through the walls, through the rock, and via the map it would be coming from your east. You can hear what is definitely the sound of some kind of like grinding, and it almost sounds like metallic in nature, but not fully, and you're not really sure why. You could just hear but this very diligent like grinding noise. And around the time you get to the bottom of the staircase, you almost hear what sounds like a snap. Like a metallic snap that almost seems to echo. As you put your ear to one of the walls as you're making your way down the staircase slowly.
Got it.
Then things go relatively quiet after that.
Then as Stony comes over to heal me, and in the process of his treating me, I will convey this information to my surrounding party members and just let them know. I'm not sure if you heard that, guys, but there sounds like there's something ahead. I just heard something snap and like a I don't know, some sort of grinding ahead.
We should fire a warning shot.
We should not do that. We should. I'm being treated here. Can't you see, Bent Nose? Gosh.
I look at
Maybe
Buzz,
we can just
Ben
stare
Nose
at
and
y'all.
Buzz enthusiastically.
I mean, hey,
It's like
the fun is
Alonzo's
warm.
times 5. Oh gosh.
So, okay, now that said, what is it you're trying to do here? Ergo, you're having Stony heal you, but you want to help?
Well, because Stony is currently stupefied, so I'm just
Yeah.
trying to give him a bit of guidance as he treats
Yeah.
my wounds.
Are you trained in
Yeah.
medicine?
I mean, I'm not trained. No.
Then what guidance can you give?
His hands. I drag his. Okay, fine. Then Stony, don't fail me, please.
Oh, let her rip.
Okay, you do want me to try this, right?
I mean,
What is your health?
the scar on my left cheek pounds with past memories. But at this point,
Oh god.
yes, I want you to try this.
All right, hopefully I don't fail, and if I
I
do,
hope
I
not either.
my hero point.
Okay.
Oh,
I will use my hero point.
Let her rip, man.
just stab Ergo. Just like, holy shit.
I'm trying to help my gnome friend, as I keep referring to him as a gnome. Much better.
It is much better. Unfortunately, you don't succeed.
Oof.
And
That's a big oof.
you, much as he attempts to heal you, he just ends up kind of pawing around the wound with the supplies, and ergo, you simply don't lack the medical training to help him. Even a single +1 would have done it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, of
Jeez.
course. I just want to really drive that home for you. So,
Yeah.
with that, you are immune to this attempt. For the time being, it seems no one in your party knows what to do with this wound, this series of wounds that currently
wait.
afflict you.
Okay. I just remembered something.
Yes.
Can I help?
Are you trained in medicine?
You're trained in medicine? I thought he said nobody else was. What the heck?
I forgot. I was like just checking my stats. I forgot.
I frankly
Oh.
didn't know that either. Oh, so,
Darn it.
So I'm not gonna say anything. I just want to walk over and help him.
yeah, well, we'll say for the purpose of this, just as ergo, you're stammering and bumbling through not knowing where to direct the very loopy Stony, who is making comments about how thick your leg feels for a small gnomish boy. Suddenly, very almost like
No, man.
without much to do, the large imposing fungus creature that you've watched just turn other creatures into two-dimensional recently with the weapon that he wields, just walks over and unceremoniously just kind of like pushes Stony to the side and proceeds to like delicately work with the healing tools better than he was. Consequently, let me just pull up as a reminder of the treat wounds. You can go ahead and roll.
Medicine roll.
Actually, I'll have Ergo roll it. He's just gonna regain 2d8 hit points.
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't have to roll.
go.
he just
No.
gets it.
No, because Stony's roll got to or Ergo's Stony's roll got to 14, and with you helping, you gave it at least a +1. So the DC is 15, and it always is for this kind of thing. All right, 9 hit points.
Oh, thank goodness. Well, now that I know this, I will keep that in mind for the future,
Yeah,
Mr. Fungus Man.
You all kind of look in awe at this, like, very weirdly knowledgeable about human anatomy creature.
What can't he do? They do. Pronouns.
I can't talk.
Yes. Okay. So then,
Appreciatively.
then at this point, so
Yes.
we've gone through 2 treat wounds actions, and then we went through the exploration and the battle. Would we
Yes.
say that an hour has passed?
No.
No.
What? No. What? No.
Wait,
You
what?
just ended the battle.
No, I'm talking about for Stony.
Oh, for Stony. No, it absolutely has not been an hour. The battle itself lasted a minute, at most.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Milling about.
It
maybe
felt so
another
much
10.
longer.
Yes. In universe, when you fight something, like every round is 6 seconds, and so for the most part, so give or take, like 10 combat rounds is a minute, because you gotta understand, you're fighting to the death in the moment. Those kind of fights don't take long.
Got it.
Even though they will take hours in our time.
Understood.
Yeehaw. So with that,
All right. Well, then
It's been more like 30 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Do you do something like that?
I mean, I just like a little bow of gratitude.
I just kind of look at him and I walk back to the corner and I'm like looking down. What is a long hallway? I'm looking down the long hallway.
yes, and that is what you see. You do see a long hallway stretching into the distance. So, with that heal done, is there anything else that anyone wants to do before you all continue?
I don't think I have any agency in this. I feel like they're just gonna go do their thing anyways. I'm glad they waited for me to be healed, honestly.
All right. Stony Toprano's gonna go on a journey.
Stony, don't you do it.
The dice decides what Stony does.
All right. So, you are all free to continue exploring as you are.
Yes. Well, fellas, I say we continue forward in this hallway.
Yeah. I don't think we have another option. Let's hope for the best.
Ahead of you, you can see there's like relatively collapsed rubble, but it doesn't look like something that can't be passed over. So,
Trespassed? Are we trespassing?
uh-oh. Let's see here.
Uh-oh.
Are
Yeah.
there any traps?
Oh, nice formation we got. I like.
I was gonna say, yeah, I like how we accidentally fell into formation there.
Perfect. As you are all walking through this hallway, sometimes I'll pause the game just to like give you a description of what you're seeing and perceiving. And as you continue passing through this hall, this hall seems relatively undisturbed for the most part. There's some collapsing rubble in the distance. Looks like another bit of a hallway that juts off to the west on the map. But for the most part, this place seems relatively intact, though it is at this point, as you're moving in this direction, that distinctly off in the distance, you hear a very there's no roll required for this because you all very much hear this. Everyone get that?
No.
No, I did not.
We'll try that one. We'll try that one.
Oh.
I got it this time.
Yeah.
One more, and just one more time for good measure.
You get that man a Zantac. Okay.
Hold on.
Sounds like me in the morning. Oh, God.
Guys,
Hold on, guys.
Yeah,
Hold
we're
on,
talking
guys.
about-
Too much talk. Hold on. Because I just want to make sure everyone gets to hear this. This is relevant. And after that, you hear what sounds like wind that grows louder. How did that sound? That sound really bad?
That was A1, brother.
I don't know how it sounded, but I'm sure it was bad.
This is great.
You all hear what sounds like a rushing wind noise that grows soft to incredibly loud and incredibly close. And then the wall on the map, your east, ruptures and explodes. I need everyone to make a reflex saving throw.
Oh, thank God it doesn't have to use my brain.
So I just hit the dice. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dang. Okay. Stony's looking up. Oh.
I'm gonna go ahead and just use a point and reroll that.
Okay.
I feel like that's a smart option here. I had 0 expectations and I'm still let
God damn.
All right, let's
I
take.
need to tear apart their randomizing algorithm to see what it's actually doing. 'Cause there is a distinctly large number of 2s rolled.
Yep,
I
that's.
rolled a 2 before the session
Yep,
started.
you got it, Martin. You figured it out. Humans are very good at telling when patterns aren't right.
Correct.
Ergo, Stony and Betnose, you are able to leap in your respective directions. Backward, 2 of you go backward. Betnose goes forward. Alonzus will end up going backward, and Fungus Man will go forward. However, the 3 of you, give me 1 second. The 3 of you suffer 8 bludgeoning damage as you
The
leap.
3 of us who dodged successfully?
No, the 3 who didn't. The 2. Sorry. Is it just 2? It's just Alonzus and. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I got confused because Fungus rolled twice. So Alonzus and Fungus, you both take 8 bludgeoning damage as suddenly the stone wall to your left, respectively, as you're walking, just explodes in rubble and caves in the ceiling around you. You are not only slammed and tossed around, but as Bentnose leaps forward, you watch as the Fungus actually, as this rupturing occurs, the floor, you're not able to tell exactly what caused this, but the floor itself gives way and sends him plummeting below.
Oh.
Oh, that's not.
No, fungal man.
It is at this point that you get now, with the dust settling and you all scrambling to hold your light sources, you can start to piece together what has happened. As you, Fungus Man, go tumbling down and take your damage, you also are slamming into something that doesn't feel like stone. And you all, as this occurs, hear this high-pitched clanging noise. And as you all cast your light sources on the source of the noise, you look and you see what at first looks like this weird oblong-shaped, like, metal pipe. Like, the metal pipe itself looks to be almost as thick as a person. But then suddenly you notice that it curves into this, like, elliptical circle and is then linked to another one. Now, each of these links is as tall as you. But you start to notice, despite how large they all link to each other, and as this
Paul is
massive,
with one of us, 'cause...
as a human, like about 6 feet tall, and you watch as this this interlinking pieces, these interlinking pieces of metal continue to jangle and clink as they seem to shift, and then begin to like slide into the hole that they helped to form. Without needing to roll anything, you can all tell it's a giant chain. As it now falls down, and Quentin, your character, like scrambles instinctively to get away as more and more of this massive chain slinks down until it comes to a decent place of rest. There's still a large portion of it embedded into the upper walls where the rest of the party is, and then it is running down and having and where you are, you can even see part of it has also ruptured and collapsed into the left wall of the new floor you are on, down lower.
So it was the chain that made the hole?
Yes. In essence, you're all able to...
out of the wall.
The chain essentially burst through the wall shortly after you all heard this strange bestial heaving sound.
How far?
Can we see what the chain is attached to on either side? Or
The chain, as you guys are up on the upper floor, you'd be able to get a good vision of the fact that the uppermost link of it looks to have been sawed through somehow.
Oh.
Well, let me see how far down that fungus creature is.
He looks to be, and I don't have a visual representation of this, it's just in between where Bent Nose and Alonza's is, that is where the hole has formed. The drop is about 15 feet.
a glowstone?
And how wide is the hole?
The hole basically spans the entirety of this hallway now.
No, I mean sorry, how long?
Or are we separated by the hole?
Yes, you're for the purpose of this, you're separated by it. So from Bent Nose to Alonza's, as an approximation, that is how wide it is.
I've begun to pull a rope out of my backpack.
Okay.
At this point. So I'm gonna start. I guess if there's a big pile of rubble back behind us there, the rope would be long enough. I could probably tie it off there and dangle it down the hole.
Sure. With this rupturing having occurred, Bent Nose, as your lantern is still turned toward the end of the hallway, you can actually see what was partial collapsing has now fully collapsed to the hall ahead of you. And it seems like it seems that main path of continuance has now been blocked off.
Well, looks like you guys are coming down here with me.
Or you could come up here and we could see where that chain came from.
I thought the hallway was blocked off at the end, though.
Well, yeah. So, you okay over there, Bent Nose?
Yeah, but the hole where the chain made is still there.
Wait.
Yes.
There should be a hole in the wall.
I'm good. I'm good.
To the
Look, my
side of
Kimming
us.
kid
Yes,
down
there's
if you
basically,
like.
in addition to this hole now basically connecting two different floors, this chain has made basically a linear gash in the wall that would have been the left wall of both of these hallways, or on the map, the eastern wall. Sorry.
Okay.
I think we should go down that newly
guys
created
wanna
puncture
down
in the
and-
wall.
So, well, I should
Somebody needs to
clarify,
rescue the
Alonzas.
fungus man.
Looking out the gash that this chain has made,
Yeah, I want to.
you can hear an expanse. It is pitch black, so you're welcome to be in shining light sources into it, but you notice as you take a single tentative step up toward it, your light spell casts into it, and you don't see anything. The light is swallowed by pitch darkness.
All right.
Same thing with the lanterns.
No. Ergo, you take a step up?
I would if the. Yeah.
Okay.
I would, yeah.
Everyone, as Ergo takes a step up, those who are able to peer, and I'll have everyone do this because Quentin, as your character is down there, you actually see the cone of these far-reaching lanterns begin to kind of spotlight into the chasm that is to your left now.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and roll everyone's perception.
Do I see anything different?
Being on a
or
lower
extra
level.
out there? Well, and the dark vision and such. I can't see anything on my screen. It's all black.
Yeah. And so I will. Yeah, a lot of this, I do apologize. There's a lot of this particular scene that I can only abstract, so I'm going to be giving you guys all of the descriptions of what you do see.
Okay.
So, yes, as you all peer around, and as especially those with dark vision are aided with the lamplight, especially, I'll describe what those who don't have dark vision see. The lamplight reaches into the darkness. And at first, again, it doesn't really seem to catch much as even your light, as it tries to reach across this expanse, ergo, almost meets nothing. But eventually, as you're waving it around, you land on what looks to be a bridge or a walkway made of constructed stone, kind of almost like a vaulted bridge made of the same stone this entire structure is made of, that kind of curves from its two ends and meets in the center. And then almost looks to be supported by upper chains and various connecting pillars. You find one, and then a second, and then a third, and it looks like every once in a while there's this lattice work of bridges and pathways that lead from one hall into another, into what appears to be a labyrinthine and immense structure that you are currently only standing in one part of. And as those with dark vision, as the lanterns kind of gravitate toward those paths, because they're not too terribly far away from where you are. Those with dark vision, however, as you're in this expanse, you can all hear the noises much louder than before. A variety of chittering and cackling and moaning and low guttural noises just emanating from every possible angle inside this immense expanse that seems halfway constructed and halfway cavern. The more the lantern light shines, you do continue to see wall after wall of construction. It is a construction on the scale of a civilization, or at least a subsection of a society, not just some pocket little structure. It looks so large that massive groups must have used it at some point for some reason. So as the lanterns kind of gravitate toward those paths and that construction, those with dark vision, however, can see the slight movements around the space of creatures. Too far off and too small to distinguish. But there appears to be, the noises are coming from a wide host of dozens of creatures of varying sizes that are all crawling or walking or skittering along the walls of this expanse. You see fur, you see scales, you see insectoid carapace, as all manner appear to be loose in this place.
That sounds awful.
Sounds like we found the Skittergate, boys.
But on top of all of that, those with dark vision, as the lanterns have not yet fallen on this, you do notice at first what appears to be part of the wall takes on this strange, different colored no, you can't see shades of color with dark vision, but you notice a strange change in texture on one of the walls. It goes from being like well constructed and almost having like a muralistic or a vaulted Gothic structure to it. It suddenly becomes a lot like fuzzier looking. It doesn't quite look as put together or geometric or linear, and you're trying to kind of your brain is trying to like reconcile what the purpose of this wall is. Does it have a pathway in it? Is this just cave surface? What is this? And again, as you do this with little to no aid from the lantern light, however, just about the time that you all just hear this big heaving those with dark vision watch that wall move and shift. And this one large footstep sends a bassy echo through the expanse. In the distance, you see something moving slowly. And you watch it turn and seem to suddenly start to grow almost smaller, as in the darkness you can see there is this large ruptured opening that this figure now seems to be squeezing into, kind of shaking the structure with every little movement it makes. But as it does that, it is moving away from you.
Well,
Okay,
that's
so
good.
this is all happening in the hole that the chain made, correct?
Yes, you're looking through into this massive expanse. From the hole the chain has opened in the wall.
Well,
So the chain is like hanging from that down into the pit where Fungus Man now is.
Yeah,
right?
basic. Again, if you are both on hallways that are on top of each other, level 1, level 2. This chain basically split the wall to the left, completely open.
And then collapse the floor.
Yeah, collapsed the floor and revealed to you that running along the left wall has been this expanse, which you can now see
And
into.
also, yeah.
Yes.
so should I climb up or should y'all come down?
I think we should go down to him and see if we can find another access point to this void, other than
Yes,
this
well,
random
so-
chain hole.
Vetnos has conveyed to us that
Yeah, I think that's a good
the
idea.
hallway is blocked off, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It haven't more than I know.
Have I ever heard of this place?
Oh, guys.
This
For the purpose of
underground
this,
I-
without calling for any unnecessary rolls, no, none of you have any idea what on earth this is.
Okay.
This wasn't here in Elderberry last time I was here.
Yeah, you all would be able to piece together that you did have to walk into the countryside to get here. You had to, probably like a solid hour's walk to get out into the agricultural element of the surrounding county where Elderberry is located. But yeah, no one has any frame of reference for what this massive underground structure could be. So,
I have a question.
yes, sir.
Okay, can the fungus understand us to a basic degree?
I can
Is
completely
that
understand
what
you.
we've established by now.
Yeah. yeah.
Okay, so if we ask the fungus a question about his surroundings, can he convey general positives and negatives?
Yeah, yes, no
the
questions would work
thing.
very well.
Okay. So can we ask the fungus with his dark vision, can he sense or see anything in the hallway below him that might be impeding us from traveling further should we go down there?
So, let's check in with the fungus. Okay.
Yeah.
Quentin, you're
Let's see
free
what
to
he's-
you're
what
free to
he's
move your
doing
character.
down there. What he's seen.
I'm free to what?
Move your character.
I can't see anything. I don't see my character.
Can you zoom out for me?
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. Okay. So what are y'all asking me?
Vetnos, ask away.
Oh, yeah, we're just wondering, can you see or sense anything down there that might be good for us? Is there like a way forward? Is your hallway blocked ahead?
You see me?
We can't.
In the abstract, yes, they're
No, we
looking
can
down the
just hear your
hole.
buzzes.
Oh, from
On the map, no.
from 15 feet above, they can see you where you're currently standing, but then if you take a couple steps forward, they can no longer see where you are.
Okay. So I'm going to indicate that it looks like there's two paths,
Mhm.
left and right, over here, and I'm gonna walk forward a little bit out of sight to take a look.
Yep.
So, did Alonzo still go back to that rubble to tie the rope, or?
Well, does it look like we can climb down the chain?
Yeah. Now, I'll say just for the purpose of this, yeah, it's incredibly heavy. It's resting on the next floor. It doesn't really look like it would fall for any reason. Like it's in the wall now. So yes, I'll say you guys can attempt to climb down without much issue. And for the purpose of this, it's a level 1 adventure. We're just gonna say that yes, you do. Quentin, as you walk forward, first to the left, you find what is kind of like sorry, I should describe this better. To your east, you find what is basically an overlook, kind of like a pagoda, that specifically looks out on this massive expanse that was described earlier, like almost meant to view it. And to the west, a large, very thick wooden door with iron bracings on, double doors, in fact, with iron bracings on them, with very large, like traditional brass door handles, And then ahead of you, a hall that it also appears to have been caved in from the recent events.
Okay. So, like I said, I will indicate to them that there are 2 other pathways. I'll just point like this.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you all
Finger guns and all. Oh,
yeah, without much issue. Quentin's character is able to convey to you everything I told him.
We're gonna have to go down there, aren't we?
I volunteer to climb down first since I have a light.
Okay.
Want some help? I can give you a little push.
Well, but we're on opposite sides. Of
I'm
this
going
chasm,
last.
so-
I'm going last.
Can I gesture to Bent Nose to jump? Catch him?
Yeah, I'd allow that.
I am pretty fairly light, yeah.
Okay. So, Bentnose, you are going to make an acrobatics check.
Okay. Let's see here. Ding, 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 ding. So what do I click the plus? Yeah, gotcha.
Nice.
20s,
With the
okay.
grace of a falling feather. And just like a cheerleader, like trained state cheerleaders, just set down, no
Nice.
problem. Let me get you down there, Bentnose. I think, hold on, can I just copy your token and do some weird science? I sure can.
I note that the fungus's arms are strangely soft for a man of his strength.
Okay, Bentnose, if you zoom out, you'll find where you now are.
Okay. Ah, I see.
Okay.
All right, so it's just the 3 of us then. Well, I guess.
Oh, this is
we
a
gotta go-
4-way split here.
I'll go down next on the chain.
Do you want some help there, Stony?
I'm good.
I'd like to stand there by the chain for Stony, just in case.
You've got it.
Stony.
All right, Stony.
It's for Stony.
You can roll athletics or acrobatics to just climb down the chain.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Yeah.
Nice.
Easy enough. Yeah, with unabashed confidence, Stony just makes his way down this chain, which, Stony, you do confirm is delicious. And you head down to the bottom. Well, let me go ahead and get you over there.
Deft, almost like he expected it to be there. He's
I
been
did
here
not-
before.
I did not expect that.
Okay, you can zoom. So every time I teleport you, you guys just have to zoom out to find where you are now. All right, so
Yeah.
Alonzo and Erica, you're the last remaining.
All right, you go on ahead, Alonzo Sala. I'll follow you.
All right, Ergo. I'll climb down.
All right,
And I'll do an acrobatics.
sounds good. It's not graceful, but you get there. You like end up slipping a bit and kicking a rock that plunks into the fungus's head as he stands there waiting for you.
What bludgeoning?
Unhappy buzzing noises.
No, not the unhappy buzzing.
Okay, ergo, athletics or acrobatics, or you can abandon the party. It's up to you, I guess.
Yeah,
Anything is up to you guys.
Go have some spider.
I mean,
fun.
as much as I want to go back and climb that wall, I've been told that I can't do it.
I'm recommending you don't.
It's just a recommendation.
It's a recommendation.
Where's my skills?
Just remember, if you roll a natural 20, you can't do anything. You automatically succeed.
You're right.
All right, well, then,
I'm powerless.
After
Power.
giving my surroundings one last look, back behind me, look at the hall again in front of me.
Mhm.
You know, it's caved in, whatever. I'll give it an acrobatics roll.
All
For
right.
the chain. Gosh darn it!
Can I try to catch him?
Yes, you can. You, ergo, as you like hesitantly, oh, I gotta be careful of my lantern. You accidentally slip on a particularly smooth part of the chain that you're not used to climbing. It's such a weird feeling to have like this massive hunk of metal and have no place to put purchase on, like a cave surface, and you slip and just crit fail, fall straight downward. Okay. Go ahead and roll athletics, Mr. Fungus.
Is there any kind of bonus or anything? Because I was standing there ready and prepared.
I'll give you a
I
plus
was
one.
literally standing there for that purpose.
I will give you a +2.
Thank you. So what am I rolling?
Athletics. So you can open the athletics, and then there should be a space for you to add a circumstance bonus. So you just type in +2.
I could use a hero point, but it seems pretty
Stony
embarrassing to
leans
use that for
over.
climbing down a chain.
Stony leans over to Alonzus. Well, I thought the short folk were a little bit better at climbing down trees.
Climbing down trees.
So
So-
glad we got a lizard folk such as yourself with us.
Wait, what?
You call me a wizard folk?
No, what?
Lizard folk.
Lizard folk.
Lizard folk?
Yeah, Stony, you do watch as the lizard folk is able to catch the
man.
gnome bridle style, in lieu of the gnome landing flat on his back on this pile of rubble, which would have sucked. Thus, ergo, you are caught safely by this creature that you've watched decimate other living organisms in the past 10 minutes.
Who
You,
also healed it in the past 10 minutes.
yeah.
Once again, I give thanks.
I sit him down and I pat him gently on the head.
There you go. All right, you have all made it down here. So, what would you like to do now? You can all see, as I described, there is this almost like gazebo-shaped, like intentional viewing platform to the east. It looks out upon this expanse. You're welcome to do that. I get it. I know what the. I mean, if you in this economy, why not? So, you all see that?
So this viewing platform is the same as what we could see through the
Yes,
Oh,
you're just able to basically
okay.
step into the expanse. It like juts into the expanse and just appears to be like a very intentional as you look out. Though I will allow for I'm gonna grab a particular perception roll.
Could I, before we all step out on the platform, could I survey the ground to look and see if it looks stable?
Yeah, absolutely. Before we do that, I'll grab a
'Cause
quick.
There's been a lot of crashing and things falling, and I don't want to fall into this big pit. I don't think any of us want to fall into
That's
this big
a fair point. Let me. Oops. Sorry. Don't ignore that. All right. Oh.
So is that what this brown is? That's a pit. It's not mud.
Yes. Sorry. It's all. Yeah. That's. It's only brown because of Bent Nose's lantern. It is just. Yeah. Vast dark expanse. Yeah. Go ahead. Just for the purpose of this. Well, actually, I can just pull up in your thing real quick. 1 second.
Ooh, excuse me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the ground of this structure looks relatively undisturbed by all of the recent violence. You can see like parts of like the awning above it look cracked and caved in and broken off, and you figure that's what's protected this structure. Is that there's this little like overhang above this that appears to have successfully protected it. Doesn't look like there's any risk of it like of it breaking under your feet.
So, despite that, Mushroom Man's a little scared of heights, and I'm gonna stay by the thing,
Sounds good.
buzzing cautiously.
All right.
Yeah. So
Ergo,
having-
hold on, Ergo. I rolled you a perception check, but are you not walking onto the overhang? You don't have to. I'm just checking.
So what I want to do.
Yes.
Having made it down to the bottom of the floor,
Yes.
having been caught by this wonderful mushroom,
Yes.
but you know, he's taken quite a bit of bludgeoning damage here, there, and everywhere. I think even last time too. So, can I say that I'm starting to notice that he's getting a bit beat up from that?
Yeah, of course.
So, because what I want to do, I actually want to explore the door to the west.
Sure. I've already rolled
But
your.
before
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say before I do that, I want to offer my healer's tools Mr. Fungus, to the fungus, so that he can patch himself up.
Yes, you offer your healing tools to the fungus among us, and you hand them to him. You are welcome to use those on yourself if the party is willing to wait 10 minutes for you to do so. Party. Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Yep, you all
Because
kind of...
having discovered that he's actually trained in medicine, he might get more use out of those tools than I will.
Oh,
so-
yeah. Okay, Ergo is giving those to you permanently. Is that correct?
Okay.
Ergo.
I'll say loaning them to him.
Okay.
Can
So-
it be like the party's healer tools? I mean, can we just like hang on to it?
That's up to you guys. I don't know.
Yeah. So, I just said, you're not looking so good there, Miss Mushroom guy. So,
Mushroom
take these tools. They might help you out better than me. But hopefully, once we get out of this mess, we'll be able to get ourselves better prepared for whatever else happens. So it's more like a loan than a permanent giving.
Okay.
But I am giving my tools to him. They are going to his inventory. Yes.
Okay. Yep, sounds good.
Very pedantic. Yes.
All right. So, you guys, that is, the trade is done. You have those healing tools. You may begin, you can make a medicine check, Quentin, to heal yourself, if you would like.
I will do that.
All right.
And while he's doing that,
It's bad!
It's bad. And unfortunately, you're still getting used to doing this for yourself, and you're not quite able to heal the wounds in any meaningful capacity at this time. You can attempt it again in about an hour. So, meanwhile, a couple of things are going to happen. Ergo, as he's doing that, you're inspecting this door. In these 10 minutes, you all look out into the expanse. Not much new information is gleaned, except Stony, with your low light vision and with the aid of Bent Nose's lantern. You are able to see in one particular tiny little space of this expanse, pretty far down low, you do appear to see what looks like, stacked on top of each other, cages. And they are open. You are the only one who sees this. No one else sees it. Stony, what do you say to the party?
I think I would let them know about the cages. I go over to Bent Nose and say, "Hey, Bent Nose, see those cages down there?"
Let me take a look. Oh yeah, I see him.
There you go.
Do you think those are roughly spider-shaped inside?
To this distance, they look like they might be a bit bigger.
Incredible. So, Ergo.
I'm gonna go over to the
Wait.
tree again.
And Stony wanders off to the tree again. Ergo, again, these doors are actually like very ceremonial looking because they are 10 feet tall. They are 10-foot tall double doors that have a very gothic church architecture that sweeps up in a curve and connects at a pinnacle between the two. A very rich, fine, dark wood that is bolstered with iron braces. Very large brass latch handles on both, which appear to be unlocked, and have nothing preventing you from going inside.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was gonna give it a light tug to see if it is, but since you've just told me,
Yeah, well, that's what you do. You test it, and you are able to ascertain. You can definitely get inside. Plus, with your perception check, you can feel air passing through the crease of this door. So you can tell there is some kind of larger space on the inside, causing a bit of an airflow.
Well, then having realized that, and I guess this is going on while he's doing his medicine treat wounds thing. So I'll just carefully lightly open the door and attempt to peer inside with my lantern.
Okay. As Ergo unlatches the door and sends the light of his lantern peering through the crack. In return... Hold on, sorry. Sorry, I apologize. I have to fix a thing. In return, as light emanates out of the room as he does this, we're going to take a quick break.
Oh.
Break that motherfucker.
The suspense! Hey, can Stony get healed?
Indeed. Can you hear me now? All right, we're gonna get back to it then, I guess. Take the salt.
Yes.
Perpetually oscillate.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Alrighty. So yeah, for the purpose of this, we'll go ahead and not have a map anymore, and we're gonna skip to the theater of the mind.
It's the true role playing. We're going back to our roots.
There you go.
My brains. My
All right.
brain.
No, not that one. Hold on. I guess. What's the good music?
Depends
Ergo.
who you ask.
Guess it
Yeah.
does, doesn't it? Ergo! As you shine your lantern into the room and the light shines back, what you find is a room that is dimly lit by what appears to be chandeliers overhead. This room is very, very spacious. It appears to be like 40 to 50 feet in full diameter. It shares the same hexagonal shape that a lot of the rooms you've seen in this structure share. It is the word that strikes you immediately as you peer your lantern into this room. You haven't fully opened the door yet. You haven't committed to anything. Is studious. You can see a number of bookshelves lining the walls of this place. The ceiling itself, 20, 25 feet, and the bookshelves easily go up like 15 feet. You can even see in the corner there's a ladder on wheels that is used to fetch books from the higher shelves as well. Besides that, you see numerous desks, and the other notable thing you'd be able to see from where you are currently, without delving in further, piles of dust. Just piles of dust all around the room. There appears to be like rug on the floor that leads up and ahead, and it itself covered in dust. Lastly, I will have you go ahead and let me just roll a perception check for you real quick. There is one thing I want to pull from you. Second. Ah, cool. That's really great. Can I get you to... Oh, there. Never mind. I got it. We're good. Yeah, and the last thing you would notice, there is, at the end of this place, past a desk and a chair and many desks and many chairs, there does appear to be an open passageway, and there is a staircase leading upward. That is all you're able to glean peeking through the door.
And you said the chandeliers are lit?
Yes.
Interesting.
Is there a draft in the room that we're currently in?
You're in a hallway currently.
Yeah, so like can I feel air moving or is it still?
As Ergo creaks open the door, you feel a bit of a draft. But it's basically just the shifting of air from high pressure to low pressure, that kind of thing.
Am I able to tell with what the chandeliers are lit from my vantage?
Fire. Oh, candles. Candles.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there are candles, large candles placed in the chandeliers, and they are lit. The chandeliers hang a solid 20 feet off the ground.
Right.
So the lighting in here, while functional, is also dim.
Yeah. All right. Well then, so I peeked in. Then I will. I'll turn back to the rest of my party and just convey that I have found this room where the chandeliers are lit, but there's still a bunch of dust everywhere.
Maid hasn't been here for a while.
I vote we fire a warning shot.
Why always the warning shots?
I can't
Why
remember.
not?
In the pathway, was there a southern path to take, or was that
Collapsed.
So it's blocked off.
then?
Mhm.
Okay.
Blocked.
Thank you all for suffering through the most railroady dungeon I will ever put you through. I promise it won't be like this in the future. I'm trying not to kill you. Thank you for your understanding.
We appreciate that so much.
Where are the Gendos?
I am hungry.
Okay, so in my explanation of this room to my party, the one statement I want to put emphasis on, there looks to be a staircase leading up, and between that and the chasm, I vote that we go for the staircase. But that's just my 2 cents.
Is the staircase all that's in the room? Is that all that's in
It's on the
there,
other side of the
or-
room.
All
Wait,
right.
what was the question?
Yeah, no, I heard the description, but you're the only one that knows it. I said, is the staircase the only thing that's in the
Is
room?
it the only thing that's in the room?
Well, there's a bunch of books, a bunch of bookshelves. It looks like a study of sorts, but it doesn't. Again, it doesn't look like it's been used, but the chandeliers are lit, so I don't know what to make of this.
Well, it sounds like we got ourselves a party. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna open the door.
Screw you, Stony.
God damn it. I love it.
Stony just
Gotta-
pushes me out of the way. And
Who
opens
just
the door.
gotta? What's this crazy house doing in the middle of the woods? I open this door up and I look inside.
Okay.
Does anything strike me as odd about
Follow
other
us.
than the candles that are lit?
It's anything. Well, I mean, considering the precedent that you've set for yourself, Stony, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
Okay. That is fine. I'm currently hallucinating.
Actively hallucinating.
How do you roll an intelligence?
You just
He's
go-
breaking the fourth wall. Oh god.
I'll just roll a d20 plus.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that isn't really a thing that
Agreed.
normally happens. I'm sure I'm supposed to have something else occur. Anyway, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it's weird how the stars of this forest are clustered in 4 distinctive locations above you, and then there's also, like, it's like there's books in the trees, but they're covered in moss, and you're not really sure why as you swing the door open. Also, God, there's a shitload of leaves on the ground where you're just, like, piles and piles of leaves around as well. This grotto in the middle of this forest does look very smart, though, and very studious.
Well, it seems we've run across a rather studious tribe of gnomes.
Do gnomes live in tribes?
More importantly, do they live in the forest?
So, but yeah, as Stony unceremoniously just swings open the doors, and you hear as they creak on their hinges, you can all see what Ergo had described in a lot more detail. To add into what was described, amidst the heaping piles of dust, you are all able to see that upon the various other relatively large, and again, made of the same high-quality wood, tables throughout this room, there appear to be yet more alchemical instruments. There are also, what looked strange to you, piles of scrolls and books, but Alonzus, you're able to pretty much clock from a distance. Those are implements of magic study. Just flat out. And so, that is what you're able to. It just looks like, again, the whole place seems to be kind of a combination of alchemical and arcane study. Hundreds of books lining the walls with various ladders to access them, and these very high-hung chandeliers lighting the room. And as Ergo said, there is a staircase, no door, just an open hallway leading into a large stone staircase that heads up and out of the room from the back. But in front of it, there appears to be like kind of like a master study desk with a chair with its back facing you. Far as you can all tell, though, there's no one in the chair. The room, aside from the piles of dust, looks empty. That is what you're able to tell standing outside of the room.
Right.
But we venture inside. Why not?
Yeah. I'd like to go inside, and I'm particularly curious in discerning these magical machinations.
Okay.
I'd like to
they,
check
They
the
all rush in, and I'm
bookcases
like,
for...
wait, guys, we should be a bit cautious. Wait, hold up a second.
Erica, we're armed. It's okay.
All right. So, anyone not
would
proceeding into the room? First off,
What's the fungal friend doing? I want to know.
Oh, he's going.
I would like to use my Pursuit feature on these strange forest gnomes and their books to glean interesting information about their culture.
My people.
all right. Roll. You go ahead and roll that pursuer lead.
Roll for gnomes.
Well, it's not a roll.
I'm sorry. Can you go ahead and throw that up in the chat for me? Your class is a nightmare. My God.
It's fun. I love it. Where do I? Oh, it's under actions. That's right.
Yeah.
It might be under explorations, but there it is. Okay.
I spend a minute. I get a +1 circumstance bonus to things related to the track.
Wonderful. So you'll negate your current -1 to everything. Whenever you attempt a perception or skill check to investigate a designated object. So yeah, you're rolling perception. However, I guess no. For the purpose, you can just roll that. You can just roll perception. There's no need to keep that obfuscated. Quentin, what is your character doing? As Alonzus bent nose head into the room, so does Stony. Ergo looks very hesitant.
I'm gonna look at Ergo. And I'm gonna clap him on the back and say, "We're gonna go in. We're going in."
Fantastic. All right. Okay, so Alonzus, you go ahead and roll perception. Well, this is specific. Actually, what this is actually going to be an Arcana roll. You're effectively like perceiving, recalling knowledge, that kind of thing. And Bent Nose, you can just roll perception. What are you looking for specifically, Bent Nose?
I'm just looking for anything that might tell us anything more about where we're at in specifically.
Okay. All right. You can just go. Yeah, you just go ahead and roll perception. Stony. Gods be damned, you don't read Gnomish, and all of these books, consistently, Gnomish.
Any of them look fancier than others?
Absolutely. Several of these books are clearly written in a much more uppity Gnomish that is just intentionally overly flourished, like Shakespeare, basically. While some of them are a much more salt of the earth laborers Gnomish, which you can recognize clearly by the font choice, but you can't read, unfortunately.
I'm gonna take a couple of the cooler looking ones.
Absolutely, you got it. Okay. I will note down. You have how many books would you like to take?
I'll take two. I'll take three cool looking books.
Okay. Let me just make a note of that for you. Let's see. I'm gonna create a journal entry. Stony's books.
New container.
No thanks. Okay. Okay, let me.
Stony Toprano's book bonanza.
Sorry, did you say three books?
Yes.
Okay.
I put them in my inventory as Gnomish Book X3.
Okay, excellent. All right. All right. Let's see. There we go. Okay, I've gotten a note taken down. There we are. So, with that, okay, let's check. See, all right. So, Mr. Bentnose, unfortunately, with your goal in mind, you're not really able. There are so many books and about subjects you have no frame of reference for whatsoever that unfortunately it's not really possible for you to glean bunch of information as to where you are, what the purpose of this place is.
Can I just grab one at random then?
Yes, you can. Okay. You grab a book at random?
I would like to grab one at random.
Okay. You find a book entitled Magical Gemstone Catalysts and their effect on 1st through 3rd level spells. Be sure to note that down.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Do I see anything that might be of interest to a large fungal gentleman such as myself?
You could roll perception.
I'd like to do that. Well, I thought you rolled perception for us, Devin.
I'm for the time being. I normally do that. I want to do when it's more interesting if the results are hidden. I will when it doesn't matter. Let's see.
Isn't there a note thing in Andrew?
There is, yes. You can create journal entries.
Can I do that, or do I have to like physically write one down?
Yes, I'm not going to command you to keep notes in a particular way. Yes.
Well, okay. The only thing I have whenever I go to the journal tab is just the option to search the journal.
There is. You don't have an option at the top to create a journal entry.
No.
Oh, okay.
I do not.
Yikes. Open up a notepad and write it down, and we'll take care of that later. I don't know why you don't have the ability to do that. Oh, because I can make
There's a little notes window on your biography page.
Oh, there you go. And I think later I can make you a thing that basically says notes for Bent Nose or whatever, and then you can write in it. So we'll tend to that later. Okay. Alonzus. Let's see here.
Okay, what did you say the title was again? Give it to me one more time.
That would be Magical Gemstone Catalysts and their effects on 1st through 3rd level spells. Excellent. So, Alonzus, especially given the nature of your spellcasting, This is all foreign to you. You've never really worked with any of the particular instruments that are here. See, this is arcane study through the use of instruments and measurement. You just kind of feel it, you know? It's all about that being in touch with your own personal groove kind of thing. When you've studied magic, or a lot of the formal study you've ever done has more to do, especially in your youth, before you lost the ability to cast spells entirely for like a solid 40 years. You instead often based all of your casting and study around how to evoke the proper feelings to channel those things. This, on the other hand, is the form of what is technical wizardry that you don't understand, despite your eponymous wizard hat. You are not, in fact, a wizard, and therefore, you're not entirely sure what's up here. So,
was that book hardback, like leather bound, or what? No.
Yes, but it's like really cheap leather bound. It's like the bare minimum required. We're talking like the good old medieval leather bound. Quentin, your character.
Is there an author noted? Sorry, I just want to make sure.
Yes, it would be Findrip II. There you go. I've spelled it for you. Or sorry. Well, that's of course.
I've spelled it already.
No.
Okay.
There we go. That's how it is denoted. So apparently, this book is so old that it was before the time when people began to actually adopt last names. So it's at least centuries old. Now this printing might not be, but the content is. Now, Quentin, your character looking for books of particular interest. With the roll that you dropped, you are able to find a singular book on natural alchemical components as they are found in the wild.
I'm just gonna leave it.
Okay, that is, that's all you're able to glean with that. You already barely understand common, and looking at that just makes your brain hurt. Like insert, if you're in any academic setting and there's a subject you hate, and you just read the title of a textbook and you just instinctively know how much you don't want to learn anything about that. That's how you feel looking at that.
Fantastic.
Is there a publication date on this book?
You lack the literary knowledge to find it. Bent knows. You've barely touched books in your entire life. All right. But if you ask a librarian, they might be able to help you find it.
You've barely touched books in your entire life.
So, with that.
I don't even know what a book is.
Okay. So, that is what you all glean as you are kind of sifting through the room. Ergo, are you looking for anything in particular?
So, normally I am quite a, I like discovery. I like learning new things. But seeing as our current circumstances have left me a bit on edge, upon being pushed into the room by my fungal friend here, they all go off. They're exploring. My focus is on that staircase. So first, because there's light in the room, I go ahead. I'm gonna shutter my lantern and just like attach it to my belt, so I'm no longer holding my lantern. Shift my shield around. Blah blah blah. Basically, get my items re-situated.
Sure.
And then before heading over to that desk, I make sure to turn back around and close the doors behind us. To want to leave things the way that we found them. Exactly. Yeah. So once the doors are closed, I make my way toward that staircase, and I guess toward that desk that you mentioned earlier.
Sure. As you are moving around the room, you're heading toward the desk. Ergo, at one point, you actually tink, and you look down, and you actually notice you have kicked, as you are shuffling past a pile of dust, your foot actually hit something inside of it. You appear to have hit the plate of a bracer, like a mercenary would wear. like
Right.
the metal plate that on the leather strap that would go on the forearm of a mercenary. Meanwhile, as these explorations are occurring, Alonzo and Bentnose, you also notice what appeared to be the occasional physical belonging that a person would have randomly amidst the piles of dust. In particular, Alonzo, you find a key ring that has 2 keys on it. That is near one of the tables that you are as you're looking at all this stupid wizard crap and not understanding it. You look at you see the glint of the metal of the key that is just beneath the table you are working at, buried in the dust.
I'm gonna put it in my pocket.
Okay, go ahead and add to a 2 hyphen key ring.
What was that you added to your pocket there?
Oh, there's some keys here on the ground.
Those
Like how he
might
told the truth.
come in handy.
Still sounded like a lie.
Yeah.
I found keys on the ground.
Trust me, they're keys.
Yeah, I found keys too.
Yeah.
Definitely not drugs or anything.
Okay, so so those are the things but you all just kind of begin to take stock of the fact that just intermittently throughout these piles of dust there are
Okay.
items, and ergo, as you kind of inspect yours a bit closer, it looks somewhat scorched, a little bit. There's a little bit of blackening on it. Some of the items here and there seem to exhibit similar signs.
I will duly note that as
Okay.
I continue toward the desk and
All
the
right.
staircase.
Yeah, sure. As everyone continues to investigate what they were looking at in particular. Okay, Ventnose. Are you good? So.
No, I'm just adding it. I'm adding the book.
Ergo, you head up to the chair, the large desk that has a high plethora of various kind of like ledgers, scrolls, and a feather pen that is currently inside of an inkwell. Various, just a lot of like wizardly documentation, the occasional strange like crystal that you don't quite fully understand as to its purpose or why it's lodged in this brass contraption that spins with various arms, like an orrery, basically. Oh yes, and that is the one thing worth describing. From walking into the room, in the far upper right corner, there's a massive brass orrery, like with multiple spinning arms and various orbs of different colors sat upon it. On another table, there is like a cauldron with and kind of an opaque yet bluish liquid sitting in it. Just various things like that none of you actually know the purpose of, but you note have value and are clearly of an arcane nature. Ergo, as you're taking stock of these things, and you're from where the chair is at, your hand kind of rested upon it, you can see, okay, well, there's the staircase, leads upward, doesn't seem to be anything particularly of note about it. You all would have also just in these preceding minutes, ergo, in particular, you hear a kind of a sifting sound, that at first almost sounds like it could be coming from anywhere, but eventually you are able to piece together that it is coming as you have stepped up to this desk from behind you amidst the piles of dust. And as you turn to to take note and take stock of what that noise is, you see a relatively humanoid figure emerging out of and made of the dust.
Then
fucking
there's
dust golem, son.
Then there's an action for this. Hold on, what is it? I am going to point out this thing to everybody in the room.
What's that sound like, Ergo? Well, Ergo seems to be crying, which isn't out of the ordinary, but you all decide to take a look.
Yammering again.
All right, so yes, you all turn to hear Ergo's spouting off, and as you turn just to see this figure that is like, you see almost like this slow shifting upward helix of dust out of which this humanoid figure has arisen. You also suddenly hear preternaturally loud and echoing in a reverb that doesn't match the room itself. Now. There's no need for all of that, now is there? As you hear this strange voice, and suddenly, like, you can actually see as you look toward this section. For a second, you feel like your eyes are short-circuiting, but you realize it's actually the chandeliers, the candles are actually flickering more than usual as this is occurring. And as you all kind of take stock and your bodies tense up a bit, the humanoid figure continues to form, but it is actually about as tall as Bentnose, because it appears to be a humanoid figure that is the size of a human, but looks as if it's on its knees, and only rises to half of Ergo's height. But as heaps of dust fall off, yet others remain solid and coalesced together in this shape, you see what is effectively a bald head, an angular face that comes down to a relatively narrow chin with high cheekbones. The face is otherwise entirely featureless. You don't see anything like depicting like eyebrows or eyelashes. Instead, basically just two sockets where eyes would be. Two pointed ears, but one of them continually actually like forming into a pointed ear and then crumbling, a piece of it falling off and then into dust below. And eventually, as this shape forms and it turns slightly, with again pieces of it eventually sometimes falling off, but then the dust slowly crawling back up its form and reshaping where it fell off. Ergo, this featureless face turns toward you slowly. It appears to be... It has, like, the semblance of teeth, sort of, like little juts of dust that are constantly shifting. It is able to speak, sort of. And as it looks toward you with these two black, hollow pits where its eyes would be, suddenly, in sequence, two little green flames. Little pinprick-sized flames appear in the black sockets of it. Now, lad, don't be afraid, I'm not inhospitable. After all, it appears you've all made yourselves at home in my study anyway.
I was just trying to leave, to find the exit. Sir?
Fenmaris. Or if you would like formalities, Count Fenmaris. Though I don't suppose I'm all that preoccupied with dealings of the county at this moment. Ergo, you know who that is. The largest county that is on the outskirts of Elderbury proper, that, you know, that louds over thousands of peasants, the thousands of hamlets and the people, the denizens of dozens of villages and hamlets, and a large section of the agricultural stock of Elderbury and it is the largest county in the theocratic state of Hellenberg, is overseen by, you don't know his first name, you know his name is Count Fenmaris. He is the count of this county.
Huh.
He doesn't look like this, as far as you understand. You don't know, you've never seen him, but you know it shouldn't look like this.
Yeah. Did you lose weight or something? That's
What a delightful sense of humor. Have you all derived a sense of satisfaction in observing my study, or is there something else I can help you with?
Why are you made of dust, bruh?
Ah, that is the question at hand, isn't it? Well, I'm afraid I can't provide you an answer to that question, my intrepid goblin friend. But I would like to inquire, so what brings you here? I wasn't expecting company.
Well, we were sent here by our jailer, coincidentally, on a mission to eradicate giant rats.
And how did that leave you here?
Well, the
It's a
rats
big
came.
cave, goes a lot of places, man.
Interesting. I am aware that there would be cave systems connected to this place, but they shouldn't fully be connected to this place.
Let's just say there were a lot of crumbling floors that led us to this point.
Oh dear. I thought I was hearing a bit of a ruckus even in my state. What has occurred? Could you be lambs and tell me, what have you seen coming here?
Why am I doing all the talking here? Somebody.
Well, there was a big chain, came through a wall, crushed half of us, and crashed through the floor. And
He's right, you know.
but before that, the floor just kind of collapsed on us without any warning, and we just kind of followed the cave system. You know, I'm a goblin. I like to stick through the caves, and the only way out is through.
The eyes drift away. Looking across the room at Bentnose, you see these flickering little green flames drift from Bentnose and start kind of like darting as one thinking, down into nowhere. You watch the figure almost instinctively lift its fingers up and kind of like rubbing them together almost pensively, but as he does so, the fingers then fall off and decay into dust, only once again for the dust to slowly crawl up the forearm and reform them. Oh my. Well, I can certainly say in the process I had not anticipated this. I'm afraid something very unlikely has occurred, and you all seem to have been caught up in the middle of it, and perhaps the surrounding area. What is the state of, do you happen to know the state of my collection outside, just in that large room over there? And he points toward the door. What is the state of the cages?
Well, they're empty. Whatever was in them is not in there anymore.
That is incredibly bothersome.
Are you making drugs down here?
As the eyes dart toward you, Alonzo's looking very concerned for a moment. And then, the concern kind of evaporates from the face and a smile instead creeps over. Oh, you found that enterprise as well. My, you have been investigative in your short time here, haven't you? Was it short, that is, or have you been living down here?
Time is an illusion, man.
It's only been a couple of days.
With this, ergo, you watch the head as if the body forgot to follow. The dust head just spins on an angle without the shoulders following. The arm spinning toward you, it flings off and just poof, into a dust pile nearby. Right you are, young lad. Right you are. Oh dear. And suddenly you watch as almost consciously the dust accelerates back into an arm and reforms itself with unnatural speed, and the head kind of readjusts back into a regular position. Well, yes, to satisfy your curiosity, I did locate the presence roughly 6 months ago of some enterprising young gentlemen who were synthesizing shiver from dream spiders. So, as the count of the county, I offered them a choice, that they would either spend their lives rotting in jail, or they could continue doing such manufactory under my employ. We do need a nice steady stream of income for what we do down here. I'm sure you understand. But, well, that won't be an issue anymore, as it were. We have much bigger plans, though I am shocked to find this rather unstately scene of affairs that I had not anticipated or planned for. As you see, once again, the flames kind of flickering around and processing what you've been describing. I can't imagine worse fortune that would have resulted from... I must process the things that you've been describing. I will need to take stock of the situation, and I apologize about the state of my study. How very uncomely for you to walk in with all this dust everywhere. As he chuckles to himself, but the chuckle almost has like an octave lower resonating through it. And in this moment, the eyes have slowly been like flickering a bit brighter periodically through the minutes, and as this happens, you all suddenly watch as the torchlight above you, one candle at a time, turns green like his eyes. Just slowly, and you almost feel the room growing colder. So, I will need to assess things, and, well, I will say, if the situation is as bad as you describe, I may be in need of assistance. And, well, you all are clearly no spring chickens to a good dive into darkness. Perhaps I might retain your services. But, well, before we have that conversation, I will need a good amount of time to get things in order. I'm afraid I'm not entirely put together. As you watch from the diagonal of his left shoulder down to his waist, in a diagonal angle, the entire upper half of his body and head just sloshes off, and then slowly reforms back as you hear a light. Yes, well, as it were, if you can give me 2 days, you might return here, though this time you're free to use the front door of my manor, and I will see to it you are able to be guided to a proper meeting place without so much to do. But of course you will need, for all your trouble of having roamed around in here, and I'm sure the frightful state of affairs you've seen, I will, of course, be compensating you, giving you some tools in advance of our discussion. However, as he gestures to a small chest that's sitting upon a table next to some more relatively rustic supplies and tools. Do help yourselves to what is inside. I believe there should be a bit of coin as well, to suit you. And I don't know what the state of things is. You did mention your jailer, and I do see the manacles around your wrists. But I would ask that you not tell a soul of what you've seen here today, or I'm afraid our terms of employment and future working relationship would quite be in jeopardy. I'm sure you understand. As the eyes look a little less jovial and look hollow, with the same as the smile plastered on the hardened dust face, almost starts to look more like stone.
No trouble from me. Now
So-
let me see that chest.
I I have a bit of a meta question
Yes.
regarding my background in particular. So
You feel
the
very
way-
uncomfortable, but it doesn't feel like you, Ergo. You feel uncomfortable, but it's as if you're feeling... Imagine if you were standing in a room and you heard someone say something, and you know it doesn't embarrass you, or it doesn't offend you, but you know it would offend the friend that you know is somewhere in this room. And you feel that secondhand anxiety and pain, knowing that you know your friend would have reacted viscerally to it. That's how you feel standing here perpetually. That is the first thing I can tell you. Now you can go ahead and ask your question.
So my question is, so my entity, so to say, has a specific skill. And, you know, it says whenever I do a skill check for that skill, like the GM can offer a bonus as though he were aiding me, yada yada. So am I able to consciously invoke that check? Or is, like, because the entity, I guess, is an NPC for intents and purposes.
Yep.
So would that be something I could manually invoke, or would that be something that you push me towards?
You can always ask, hey, am I getting anything from this? And it would effectively prompt me to consider if you would. At this time, you feel this deep discomfort, but nothing further. Not yet.
So nothing religious, which is
You
my
are
entity's specialty.
What you are feeling is the feeling is this weird secondhand anxiety of a weird, like, religious. It's like walking in and finding, like, if you were to in the real world find a religious altar desecrated, but you don't follow that religion, you would still feel something's wrong, like, about the simple act of it. That's just the kind of unease you feel here.
Right, but the unease is not coming from me.
No, it's like, it's again second hand. It's this weird, like, you feel uneasy, but it's not because of how you feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very odd phenomenon when there's no one here that you're pulling the source from.
Got it. Okay. Just was curious about that. All right.
So, with that, this figure composed of dust that is more and more, you're now noticing, is pulling out of the room. All of the piles of dust. You can now see these little trails that are floating through the air. Parts of this figure are now also floating through the air, drifting upward, out the door, through the cracks in this architectural structure. Like, you see it flowing into every possible orifice that could be visible. Even into the gaps in the tiles in the floor. You can see the dust is just slowly, extremely slowly, leaving. Any other curiosities I can entertain before our official meeting 2 days from now? That is, of course, I hope to see you 2 days from now. I believe I might need your help. But, well, of course, if you're busy with the whole being imprisoned thing, then, well, perhaps I won't, and I may need to seek aid elsewhere.
Well, now that you mention it, actually, you wouldn't happen to have a way to get these off, would you?
No, I do not, at the current moment.
Okay.
I'm a bit put out. But I, would have no doubt you enterprising lot can figure it out. Though if you've been sent here by the very jailer that put you in those manacles, perhaps you are already on your way to a solution to that situation. Perhaps there are deals that you can strike. Since their concept of imprisonment and justice are already very liberal.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. So, if no one else says anything in particular, the dust begins to accelerate. And it, again, with just kind of like a final... Wondrous. I do hope we'll meet again. But as I said, feel free to try the front door. As the upper part of his head rapidly now begins to turn into this dust, pull into the streams of dust that now pull his body apart and flow in various different directions. His body essentially discorporates in that way, and then further the piles of dust begin to do the same.
Well, that dude was kind of strange.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
this.
He seemed to know, or you seem to know him, Ergo.
My
What was that
my
about?
home has changed a lot in these past 10 years. It seems. I guess I should have visited more often. Oof.
Okay. So, as for Alonzo, as you approach the chest and you open it, can everyone see this? Hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Waiting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Show. Check your
wow.
check your
Count's
journal.
first reward.
I don't know why it lists Quentin and Zach's characters. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, can you see the items?
7 of them.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
find, first off, a purse of 40 gold pieces. 50 gold pieces, my apologies. 50 gold pieces.
50 gold.
50 gold pieces. And you find the items listed here, which you can peruse at your leisure. And you also find, along with these items, interestingly, there is kind of like a quick reference guide as to what they are. Like, essentially written instructions in common to explain to the uneducated what each of them are and what they do.
Wow.
Nice.
I feel like somebody needs this here cognitive mutagen.
I'm quite drawn to this potion, this elixir of sorts. I think I'll take that.
I call.
Oh.
Torch.
He wants to
Torch!
purchase an item. Oh, that's cool. I can do, like, it gave me, like, a shop window. Hold on. For 0
I don't know.
GP.
I clicked the take
Accept!
button.
Oh, I would like the hampering snare if anybody doesn't object.
No
Oh.
objections here.
Oh, and I
bad.
think Quentin's character is very upset about that.
I'm actually fine.
Oh my. We'll just get rid of that. Zach, can you tell people how you just did what you did?
I clicked on the take button on the right-hand side.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
little hand.
Well, I'm worried. Do you guys see that? Because you're on this, but the other players aren't?
I mean, I have a take button.
Oh, then good.
And when he clicked it, the item disappeared. Yeah.
Perfect.
Whenever I click take, it says you don't have a character associated with your user.
Oh my god. We'll figure it out. Okay. So you want the hampering snare. I will get you the hampering snare.
Yes, thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
Saya.
Okay. Alright, see if this works. Boop.
Mahalo.
I just want some gold, my dude.
Okay, hold on. Well, it didn't work, and oops. There you go. Bent nose. Yeah, so is it fair to say, without much issue, you all divvy up the gold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I thought he said no for a second.
You may all add 10 gold to your inventory.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Maybe I'll buy myself some healer's tools.
I would recommend the Hat of Disguise go to the mushroom man, the mushroom creature.
It's a good call.
Okay.
All right. Okay. You're not really sure what this is, Quentin's character, but
I would
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
had
You got a hat.
notes on
I was going to
notes
say,
on what the item did. I would explain it to him, or it.
yeah. So Stony imparts the nature of the description of the item, and for all your purposes, this is basically, as the image would suggest, a very stoutly brimmed pilgrim hat. It looks like to be made of like regular cloth. It's got a buckle on it, but you know it exudes a certain magical efficacy.
I'm going to put it on.
Okay, so that
I wouldn't know
casts. You put it on. So let's go ahead and take a look here. That will cast the illusory disguise spell. At first level. While setting up the disguise, you can magically alter the hat to appear as a comb, ribbon, helm, or other piece of headwear. So that's up to you. But right now, it's a big pilgrim hat. So the spell... You create an illusion that causes you to appear as another creature of the same body shape with roughly similar height. So, generally speaking, you can turn into a humanoid. You just have to be very conscious to keep your breadth in check, so as to not betray the illusion.
Gotcha.
Of a relatively similar height and weight. So basically, you can make yourself look like a really thick dude.
Nice.
The disguise is typically good enough to hide your identity, but not to impersonate a specific individual. The spell doesn't change your voice, scent, or mannerisms. You can change the
I
appearance
still
of your
smell like a mushroom and buzz.
You can change the appearance of your clothing and worn items, such as making your armor look like a dress. Held items are unaffected, and any worn items you remove returns to its true appearance. So yeah, you can now willingly decide to look like any of your party members, a random human you've seen once, like, you know, just using your imagination. The item basically speaks to you as you put it on and gives you the power to do that.
That's cool. Cool.
You as a character would be like very fascinated because you don't know like what this is or have any concept for it, but it seems very useful given the unease with which most people have looked at you since you've been walking around this county.
Fair.
Okay. So that is that. Does anyone else have any claims to make on these items? Somebody's got to carry them.
Yeah, I'll take the oil of potency.
Okay.
I also have the not associated with the character.
All right. Okay. I'll get that taken care
I
of.
thought Ego wanted the torch.
Ergo wants torch.
I did, but I have a light source.
Yes,
So-
which you have been burning through oil quickly, for the record.
No, I know.
Just letting you know.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm well aware.
All right.
Well, we got 10 gold. I'm gonna buy some more oil when I get the chance.
And you guys, and always be aware. You can sell anything you find. Like you don't have to take these things.
Right. Well, at the very least, I think I'll take the antidote.
All right.
You
And
know,
I had the
Ergo,
same-
I think you should take this
I believe it's
mutagen too.
antidote.
Sometimes you're a little bit dull. It might help you out.
But it says it'll make me less. I can't climb that cliff if I take this mutagen. Now, what am I gonna do?
Give
Oh,
it to
no.
somebody else. I'm not taking any more handouts from this count.
Yeah.
Stony's looking a little
Yeah. Well, what did Stony
out of
take?
it. Maybe.
Stony, what did you take?
I took this magical drink.
Stony takes the.
Oh, yeah,
the
the
oil
oil,
of potency. Yeah. So who carries the cognitive mutagen?
I guess I'll take it.
Okay. All right, sir. You get yourself 1 cognitive mutagen. Cool.
I'll take the ever-burning torch, I go.
Okay. All right.
Now that mossy creature was an odd one. I've never seen something capable of dimming the stars.
Oh, Stony.
That was a very weird creature made of leaves and moss, ever shifting. Is that the king of the gnomes? He didn't look like a gnome. He looked more like a communist.
All right, yeah. What the heck?
I don't
I'll
think these
I'll take
gnomes
the torch.
abide by our capitalist
Give me the torch.
society.
Oh no, sorry, Bentnose has already taken the torch. You can ask.
Oh
him
wait,
for
no,
it.
you're right. I apologize. I forgot. Get me out of here then.
Ergo looks at the torch with lust
She's like
and
the
jealousy.
torch. Arrogant.
Okay.
Let's add my 10 gold.
Would you like to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will sell you the torch.
All right, then I guess I can just delete that loot. Boop. There it
If
goes.
you'd like.
All right. So yeah, I'll work out the kinks of you guys being able to, like, you know, ask for things. But that also means I can, like, have shop fronts work that way as well, which is neat.
That's
Which
cool, yeah.
is neat. So, all right. That is, you guys have divvied up the loot. You're now standing in this room, continuing to watch these piles of dust funnel out as they float away. Oh, and as this happens, and as the dust
Left to do good stairs, eh?
as the dust fades out, and this is things you had seen somewhat poking through the dust, but none of you opted to explore too deeply. Along this of particular interest to you as well. With each succeeding pile of dust carved into the stone tiles of this room, you now see around where this individual had risen, and in betwixt all of the random personal effects that are now lying on the ground and randomly strewn about, magical runes look etched into the stone in a circle with where Count Fenmaris and his dust form was at its center. The etchings look violent and recent. And you can all just see this ritual circle kind of filling in a large circle around, like 20 feet in diameter around the central desk.
Well, that's that is. It's been fun here.
The candlelight returns to normal.
Okay, that was my concern. Thank goodness. Not that this place has been lovely, you know. We've been totally fine. Totally would not be dead if not for our massive flail fungus friend frantically flailing. I don't know. I'm just basically trying to say, let's get the heck out of here.
Let's blow this pop stand, says Ergo.
Hey, Alonzo.
What, Stony?
You think you could put that lockpick of yours to good service and undo these?
Oh yeah, that's.
Solid idea.
I guess I could try.
It occurs
Good
to you
job,
all that
Jose.
apparently the local jailers weren't really on their A game when they searched Alonzus's belongings and failed to find the lockpicks that they gave to him.
All right, I guess I'll start with Alonso. Can he lockpick his own manacles or not?
You can try, yeah. I mean, they're not chained,
All right.
so yeah, you can attempt it.
Alonso would start with himself, of course.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with
Yeah,
thievery.
we've discovered all sorts this session. He's got thieves' tools, trained in medicine.
Not quite enough to pick these. I have a DC in mind. It's just, it's not ridiculously high, but these are, these are built to not be picked.
All right.
How would
Let's
they do that?
try ergo.
Okay. You are able to get Ergo's manacles off as they fall to the ground.
There you go, ergo. They gave you the weak locks after all.
Oh, and they'll regret
They read you like a
underestimating
book.
me.
All right. I'll do Stony next.
The manacles come off.
Chunk. All right, I'll save these for later and put the manacles in my pocket.
All right.
Fungus.
The manacles come off.
Excellent.
Thicker manacles than the previous people. But they come off as ridiculously sized mycelian wrists.
All right, and the nose.
Seeing that Stony put his in his pocket, I'm going to offer mine to Stony.
These locks are just as rusted.
I will take them as well.
These locks are just as rusted as yours, Alonzus, and you're not able to quite get it.
I whispered a bent nose.
God damn it.
They knew who to watch out for. Don't worry.
Okay. So, what do you guys do now?
Probably head for that staircase.
You have the-
I say we go up the stairs. Starry Bear boys.
Thanks, Delta.
Hmm.
You head up the stairs. Following up the stairs, you eventually walk a fair distance. This staircase is pretty linear. Solid 30 feet straight up, hit a landing, hook a left, another 30 feet straight up diagonal. And eventually you come to a door, a wooden door, iron braced, same as usual. This door does have a lock on your side. Essentially just a padlock you can open yourselves. A chain. A chain that has been wrapped and tied around the door such that it can't be opened. Doesn't take much for you guys to undo the chain. You pull it out from the latch on the door, pull the door open, and you find a little, can't even really be called a cave. It's a little dirt and rock inlet covered in bushes and foliage. And as you step out of the must of this passageway you've spent all this time in, and you close the door behind you, just kind of leaving the chain where it is, or you can take it, I don't care. If somebody takes it, just write it down. Close the door behind you, you walk through a solid 10 feet of what you glean to be tactically planted underbrush, and emerge out of what is essentially a heavily foliaged side of a hill in a nearby little patch of woods outside of Elderberry.
Nice.
Freedom.
Sounds like a good time.
Okay.
So should we report back to what's his face?
Do we have to?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We did kill the rats.
Yeah, we also can get our manacles off, thanks to our friend Alonzus. Just a matter of time before you guys get yours off as well.
Quick technical question.
Yes.
Is Delta talking?
He has been a bit.
I don't see him on the
Yeah?
screen at all. I can't hear him. I can't see him.
Oh.
I would suggest
Hello,
you guys
Check
just
one, check 1, 2, 3.
I still hear him.
four,
just
five.
refresh your video, Ninja. And there he go.
Goodbye.
Well, while he
Yeah, I got
Anybody else hear me? Hello? Check.
yeah, we got you, Delta.
Big ball.
Yeah, we're still good. We still hear you.
Okay, cool.
No, wait.
What?
Okay, yeah, that whole
Hello,
time during
check.
that conversation, I was confused why there was so much silence, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, okay,
We'll double check. We'll do a period. We'll have to remember to do like a periodic. Can everyone hear?
Yeah.
Everyone kind of thing. Because
that was odd.
That happened earlier because not Quentin. I'm sorry. AC and Delta could not hear me at one point or see me, and they had to
Okay.
refresh. So
Gotcha.
there we go. I'm sure it has something to do with me pulling people's sources into the stream. I ruin everything with this live stream, and I will continue to do so. So I
Aw.
think you all now standing in this clearing in the forest. You all have to decide where are you going. If you stay together, go ahead. Somebody walk off and ruin my life.
I'm gonna go look for another hill to stand on, and more townspeople to stare at menacingly.
So
Wait,
you
so you said we
all
came out outside of Elder Ring?
elder.
Yeah,
Walk
exactly.
down the Elk Ring.
Fuck you. Standing outside of Elderberry, you're a solid like 3 miles away from Elderberry proper, from where you are currently
Definitely
located.
go away from there.
So,
Whatever way is away from there.
a bit of meta knowledge for you all is just the simple fact that you do know, at the very least, if you do not report back to Constable Barony, you will be at large. You will be wanted criminals, for which he threatened you would just be killed if you were found. And you don't really know to what extent his authority reaches or how that works. Though you would be able to piece together, that is the authority of Hellenberg specifically, which is well, it's not a kingdom. You're not really sure what it is. Even ergo, you're not really even sure what it is. You know it's religious of some kind. Like, the point is, this part of the continent is Hellenberg. And you know that, at the very least, you would be wanted here. But you would have to essentially get out of this jurisdiction to potentially evade capture. And even then, there's nothing to say that you wouldn't still be at large in other jurisdictions if deals are made or bounty hunters are hired. You don't really know to what extent Baramy would be willing to pursue his threats. But
Right.
either way, you do figure you're probably better off not being alone, regardless of whether you choose to report back to Baramy and receive the reward of what you've been given and not be hunted, or to continue following up with Fenmaris. Anyway, that's all the context I just wanted to give. You may now discuss.
Well, now that we're finally out of that dang cave, you know, with everything we found down there, I do kind of want to. I think that quickly. Actually, well, here's another meta question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use hunt prey against entities that I'm not in combat with?
Let's find out. So if I pull up Erg and go to actions and go to hunt prey, you designate a single creature as your prey and focus your attacks against that creature. You must be able to see or hear the prey, or you must be tracking the prey during exploration.
Right. So do they have to be physical attacks?
As opposed to what?
As a So here's the scenario I'm imagining.
Okay.
We approach the constable. I designate the constable as my prey, and I use that to gain a leverage of intimidation.
No. No, that's
Okay,
not how that
okay.
works.
Just wanted
And it
to-
doesn't
just
and it
wanted
doesn't
to
work that
check.
way because there are other things that specifically do what you're asking for, but in a social sense. Case in point, there is an action that does what you're seeking to do. Under, let me find it here.
I mean, I won't be able to do it because I'm not charismatic.
Under
I was just wondering if
under diplomacy, there is an option. Let me try and can I throw this in the chat? Please let me throw it in the chat. Please let me throw it in the chat. Oh my god, what have I done? No, I've broken it. Oh my god, I've broken it so bad. I soiled it so bad.
Soiled it.
Sorry, let me just look this up. Give me a second. It is called the Make an Impression action. You'll be thrilled, ergo, to know that it is entirely diplomacy-based. There you go.
No, I understand that aspect.
Oh.
I was trying to game the system.
Of course. Classic ergo. No, that's not available. There is also, I think there is also an intimidation action.
Well, that's a whole category. That's a proficiency.
Oh, yeah. Then there you go. So what's under, let me check what's under that. If I go to here and the action reference rules, there we go. And under intimidate, there is coerce and demoralize. There you go.
Well, like, yes. So
Make them feel
my
bad
thought
about
process-
themselves.
So because of my hunter's edge outwit, whenever I hunt prey, I get a circumstance bonus to deception, intimidation, and to recalling knowledge. So that was my
well, hold on.
my thought process.
Now, where I imagine I'm lacking context. Where is your hunter's edge? What is that under?
It's class feature.
Okay. So if I go to
And it was
feats,
like one of it was
Hunter's
the
Edge.
one of three passives. I could choose.
Outwit.
So I was
And
thinking
any-
if I was like,
To deception checks, intimidation checks, stealth checks, and any checks to recall knowledge about the prey.
right,
So I think what that is mainly going for is if you're in
like
a
hunting a target, like
if you're hunting a target, or I'd allow it that if you're in a directly hostile situation against Constable Baramy, weapons bore, like weapons out, then yes,
right.
I would let you intimidate using Hunter's Edge after marking him as your prey, but not in a peaceful social situation.
Of course. Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay.
I still am in favor, and I convey this to the group. I don't think it would be wise for us to make enemies when we don't have to necessarily, or I think that dodging would be would convey more risks than otherwise.
So we can just go back and get half our sentences.
Well,
Hold
we
on,
could go
so
back to
Go
the
back to
constable
jail.
because like Stony found this whole thing, and Stony did convey this information to us. So, like personally, based on what we've been told and based on all that, am I able to run? Like when I first met the constable, did I recognize him, or was I able to like recall knowledge that from my previous time in Elderberry when I lived there that I was aware of his presence?
No, you never really had any run-ins with the law, so you don't really know who this is.
Because I don't know. I still have my suspicions, so I think we could go back and perhaps
I feel
confront
like-
him about said suspicions.
I feel like he sent us to that tunnel to die. I
I
think we should bail and take our freedom.
I agree.
I buzzing affirmation to Alonzo's.
I don't know. I'm not good at
Say
this
we
social
didn't die
stuff.
in the tunnel.
But ergo, I will go back to Constable Baramy to put manacles on him, and then take him somewhere else.
In response to that, I start swinging my flail with one hand. Like,
The buzzing grows loud.
buzzing intensifies.
Not to mention, I don't. Constable Baramy not even keep his end of the bargain. Doesn't necessarily struck me as the type to bargain with a criminal.
You remember what those guards said when they threw us in that cave?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess you guys are right.
In 2 days, I doubt we'd be able to make it back here in 2 days if we went back.
But now, look at me.
I agree.
No manacles. Well,
No, you still
they're
have
not,
manacles
they're not
on.
tied. Extra mass on my fists.
Extra punching power, right?
Does Bentnose have any final thoughts?
Yeah, I vote we go away. We say fuck Constable Barrowby and take our chances elsewhere. Then come
Well,
back here. and
the
do
wilderness
the
is my
little-
friend, so I
little
suppose I
dusty
can go
boy
on.
got for us.
Can I
Old dusty
gain an
boy.
insight on how the guards would treat the situation? So essentially, to their perspective, we went in the cave, they heard fighting, and then a rock
Never came out.
collapse
Yeah.
and stuff, and then we never came out.
That's true.
So odds of our survival, and then they go in and then they see the area that has been just like rock slided in.
It's a good. I think that's a good point. Yeah.
What are the odds of them just thinking, "Oh, they're dead"?
I'm afraid
And as long as we don't like,
you're doing the insight check right now. There is no odds calculation here. It's just what you think the guards would think.
I would think as long as we don't, make ourselves obviously known and notorious, that we're probably assumed dead. Like
I
they're
gesture
probably
with
not
my
going to
phone
hide
to
from
ask.
us.
Should use his hat.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
gesture to my new hat.
Doing your hat.
yeah.
All right. So, you're standing in the middle of the woods. Not really. Where you are able to determine you currently are is basically, it's not even really woods. It's like a patch of woods. It's like a patch of, there's an occasional patch of trees and underbrush amidst the rolling fields of what is effectively northwest North Ikura. The continent of North Ikura, the northwest region. You are all currently northeast of the city of Elderberry. That's where you currently are. You know you're in the vicinity of the Count's mansion. He invited you back in 2 days and said you can walk up to the front door. Though now that you know where this passage is, it's also your choice whether you do that. You're not sure what would happen if you went back this way, but that's your choice. So, what would you all like to do as a general plan for right now?
I feel like we could just camp out in this little cave/bushes
We get away
thing.
from the cave exit and go somewhere.
I mean, I guess I don't know what time of day it is.
I vote we camp out and then go through the front door of the manor, like he said. Just kind of see where it goes.
Do you have food?
I do.
I do.
I think I have some rations.
But there's also an action that lets you just.
there is.
attempt
There
to
is. Sure.
subsist.
And I just want you to be aware, subsisting would require you to move many, many miles on the outskirts of the
Oh
city.
no, I lost Devin.
You
Yeah,
just tell him to
I'll do
refresh.
my ration.
Okay.
Well, I got my rations, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, in that case, let's see here. Sounds like You may
I
all.
thought I pulled a morsel of meat off a rat.
No.
In light of that, as we end the session for tonight, you may all take your 250 experience.
Hooray.
Oh yeah.
Do we add it ourselves? Or do we...
Yes, you can. There's an add button.
So 200?
No. Stony, in the dialogue box that I've put up, do you see the add button?
Oh. Yes.
There you go.
There we go.
And what's this 250 experience of balance based on?
It's based on the hazard of the chain flying into the wall, which you all got past, and then the conversation with an entity that has a certain experience value relative to your level.
Got him.
Yeah.
It says it right there.
I
It's
don't
the-
like that.
Nice.
Well, you don't have to hit the take XP button.
Yeah, you can just leave it there if you want, I guess. My character learned nothing from this experience. Thank you very much. Okay. And with that, the session draws to a close, and thus so does the stream to our prolific streaming audience. Have a lovely evening, and thanks for joining us.
I'm here. I was here.
Yeah.